Now, if there's one thing that you know annoys me, it is the gulf between fantasy and reality, the gulf between BS and reality, particularly when it comes to our politicians and this federal government in particular. Now, you know that I've been very critical for some time, like most right-thinking people, about not the existence of the national broadband network, not the need for faster internet around the country, but the idea of who's going to pay for it. And why do we literally need to put a blue cable out the front of every single person's house and connect it to every single person's house? Surely there are smarter things, and as I've talked about before, things like the Foxtel cable surely would be able to fill the gap. But in today's financial review, we got a stunning example of the difference between the rhetoric that government throws around and the reality. Have a look at this. These are some numbers that are worth having a look at here. This is the gulf between BS and reality. The black is what was promised when it comes to rollout of the NBN. 140,000 homes by June. There'll only be 70,000 from that one provider though. Clearly, that's half. That's half of where they were supposed to be. You listen to the Prime Minister and her supporters, it's as if this thing's already been built. As for Victoria, clearly a little bit better, but still nowhere near that 30,000. What about in Western Australia, South Australia and the Northern Territory? Supposed to be close to 50,000, it's barely 12,000 people that have been connected. And as for Tasmania, 23,000 and only 14,000 have actually seen the blue line go past. Now, I show you these figures because it is yet again proof, yet again a real-life example of you need to double-check what the politicians are actually doing and what the project is actually, or how the project is actually proceeding, rather than believing the BS and guff that's around. As I said, if you believe the Prime Minister, the NBN has already been built. And the idea of the Liberal Party wanting to shut it down is somehow denying millions and millions and millions of people technology that's already connected to their house. Well, that's crap. In one state alone, it's 140,000 people are supposed to have it, in a state of 7 million people, by the way. And that 140,000 people are supposed to have it by June. Not even 70,000, or just over 70,000 have got it. That's a little bit of a gulf between rhetoric and reality. And even then, if the best case scenario of a promise was 140,000 homes in a state of 7 and a bit million people, well, that again is a whole new level of BS. And we'll get into those opinion polls a bit later in the program that show now 75% of people surveyed believe that the Prime Minister has a major problem with trustworthiness. It's not just about the carbon tax. It's not just about the scandals of the past. It's about the gulf between BS and reality. The NBN is example 474 for this government and this Prime Minister.